Hello, my name is Floyd, and I'm here again. And this is a audio recording that I did on June 28th of 2014, and it's on what I call the quiet spot. I hope you enjoy.
Hello again. Here I am back over my favorite spot, the campfire. About 9 o'clock in the evening. Sun's still up. What a beautiful day it was today, about 30 degrees. Anyway, I'm up here by the fire. I'm wondering, I'm thinking, okay, well, what do you want to say tonight, Lord? It's going to be a beautiful night, and we'll see what you get to say. And as I'm putting my fire together here, which is not quite all together there yet, he says to me, reminds me about what this place is to me. You see, this is my quiet spot where God has full access to me. Okay? He has my full attention. There's no distractions. Okay? There won't be once I get this fire going. What? Let's go there in the light. And we'll see what happens there. But anyway, the point is he brought it to me, which is really good. I mean, you hear my recordings, most of the time I'm standing all around the fire because it is such a quiet place with no distractions, so I can listen to him. So what the message tonight is exactly on that. Is on the quiet spot. Is on the quiet spot. Why is it important to hear or to have that quiet place that's your own, that you're comfortable in? It's just comfortable. You'll find that spot. You need to find that spot. Search for that spot and find it, whether it's outside, inside, the basement, I don't know, the bathroom, the attic. You'll know where there's a place where you can spend time uninterrupted. I guess the bathroom would be a good place for it. But anyways, the attic would be a good one. I don't make people go to the attic. But the point is that find that spot where you're free, where you don't have any distractions that are going to interrupt your talk with your Creator, with God. Okay? And once you do that, then you'll see why I'm directing you in that way. Because you see, God, He talks in such a small, quiet voice. He doesn't compete for attention. You see, because of the fact that we have to come to Him, okay, we have to make that decision, which you'll hear me talk about a lot. We have to make that decision. When we make that decision and we come to Him, you see, He doesn't, He has that quiet spot so that He can answer what you want. He knows everything you want. He knows everything you need. He's not going to give you all you want if they're not within His will, of course. They have to be in the will of God. You have to learn what He wants. But I'll tell you right now, He only wants the best for you. He only wants what is best for you. You think that you may know what's going to make you happy or what's going to fulfill the void that you have. Understand something. He knows. He knows you right down. He created you. He knows you better than anybody else. So find that quiet spot so that He can talk to you. If you try this is what's going to happen, okay? You try this over and over again, like I say, most of my recordings are, I think it's only one recording I did that it wasn't, and that's the one that's on Fear and Miracles. That's one you really want to listen to. Those are true stories of where God moved in my life, and they weren't small movements either. But anyways, so you find that spot, and the more you do, and the more you listen to Him, the more you read His Word, invite Him in, remember, if you open the book, if you open the Scriptures to learn and to hear from Him, you have to invite Him in. You have to invite Him with you when you're entering His Word. Nobody else can interpret it to you. So you have to realize that it only makes sense. You have to invite Him. Okay? And if you have trouble with everything you're doing is on faith. You understand? Everything you're doing is on faith because you don't know until you do. Once you do these things and you're able to see God working in your life really, for you, and only you have to understand it. Don't expect people to understand. If you try and tell them, "Oh, God's moving in my life," unless they're filled with the Spirit, they don't know either. Okay, but when you know, But when you don't know, you don't know. You can't comprehend the things of God unless you're communicating with God, unless you're connected with Him. So when you have those experiences, you see, He'll teach you, and you'll be like me. When it rains, I can't go by the fire. But He always has me do something else. I'll do something on the computer or something, right? Because I love speaking His Word. I love listening to Him talk, right? Because it's such great stuff. It's so empowering when He reveals these things. Okay, the simplicity of them also. So, anyways, so you have that quiet spot, and you're in His Word. You're inviting Him in. Just ask Him to come in. No fancy words or anything, folks. Get over that stuff. All you have to do is say, Father, I want to enter your Word, and I want to learn what you have to say to me today. So I'm inviting you in to show me the truth of your Word. And He will. Okay? It's as simple as that. But you got to invite Him. Remember that. It's all choice. So as you're doing this, then you'll get revelations and revelations, you know, and you need to find somebody who's you need to find somebody who you can talk to about it, that even if they don't understand it, they won't ridicule it. Very dangerous to ridicule something today just because you don't understand it, especially when you know the things of God, because He's revealing new things. These are new things He reveals through me. You've never heard these things put this way before. I haven't. And I've yet to meet anybody who has, because most of the reactions that I get from people who take the time to listen to these recordings, you know, and until they get it, their response to me is like, man, I never heard it put like that before. I never heard that spoken before. I didn't know those truths about God. No, because you were believing what you were being taught. And that's dangerous, because God says, let no man deceive you. And He also says you need no man teach you anything. Okay? So trust in God. So you get into that quiet spot, and that quiet spot is because, like I said, there's no distractions. Okay? There's no distractions. Because if there's a distraction, you're not focused on Him, you're focused on the distraction. He knows that. That's why He says He talks in small, quiet voice. Why Jesus, said, go to your closet. Right? Go to your closet, He said. And Jesus would go off by Himself when He would pray. Right? He didn't pray openly in front of all people. He says, those that pray in the public squares and the open places, they have their honor among men. They're praying for people to hear them pray. The only person that you need to hear you pray is God, because He's the only one that can answer your prayer. So, why would you go to somebody else for something you want when He's the only one that can give it to you? That's pretty logical. This logic is so simple sometimes. And I understand something, folks. When I'm doing these tapes, okay, don't think I'm standing here talking like I know all these things, that I'm all full of knowledge and stuff. No, I'm a willing vessel for God to speak through. These messages that I give are for me as much as they are for you, believe me. Okay? Because most of the time, this is my first time hearing it too. Not all the time, because He's spoken to me throughout my life, but especially today, in this day and age, like we're in 2014, and boy, I'll tell you, the stuff that He's bringing through to make it so clear how to empower you. All right? It's all about Him. It's not about me. These messages are for me just like they are for everybody else. And I struggle like other people do, maybe not as much as other people do, because I have a very close relationship with the Father. Because I chose to have that relationship with the Father. And that's why I can tell you these things in conviction, because I know these things to be true. Nobody can tell me that what I'm telling you is not true. You can disagree with it. You don't have to go along with it. You don't have to believe it. Right? But the fact what I'm telling you from experience. I'm telling you because He has proved these things to me. And because I see the, the benefit, and how it's benefited my lives, how it's benefited friends and even strangers who have had an open ear just to hear a different point of view. Now, I have seen the fruits of the labor. And now He has put me in a position where that I can put these down on through technology, put these on tape, and put them out on the internet, or email them directly to you, so you can get it fast. Because you know what? I'm seeing it so clear. Boy, time is going by fast. Things are happening so fast. Okay, and that's why he's decided this is the time. Because throughout my life, I would say, Lord, all of this knowledge and your wisdom behind it, and you're showing me. You know, like, and I always shared it with people. Always shared it when I had the opportunity. But I was like, this is like, I was kind of baffled. Like, when is it going to come up? Well, now's the time. Now's the time. Lord has made very clear in my eyes that this is the time that He wants for me to speak up, because, you see, He has opened the door for it to happen. He has opened the floodgates on the ministry that He has put inside of me. And as I go on, I can see why He held it till now. Because there's so many desperate people that are looking and searching for the same thing, but they don't know where to find it. Well, I have the answer of where to find it. You just keep listening to these recordings, because as He pumps them out, I'm going to pump them out to you. I trust Him. I mean, I have no doubt. I have no doubt of the information that you're getting will change your life, right? But it all comes down to you making a decision, not your friends. You know, a lot of people are just not going to want to listen to this. They've heard, you mention God to them, they have this picture in their mind. They have this picture in their mind of this big church, okay, of all the do's and don'ts, okay, you know, and all the, you know, they want your money, okay, and all the stuff that goes with it, okay, all the stuff that goes with it. You see, and that's what they picture in their mind, because that's what the world's been taught. Most of it, not all of us. Not all of us. We're like the watchman's warning. My brother does a teaching on that specific item, the watchman's warning it's called, and you can get it on the website. Okay? Now, you really need to hear that. That's a strong message, but you know what? You're better knowing the truth than not knowing it. At least, even if you listen to that and you don't believe it, that's okay. But at least when it happens, you'll recognize it for what it is. You see? God says, my people die from lack of knowledge. Okay? We're trying to give you knowledge. Okay? To save yourself. To save for your eternity. If you don't know God, this is big stuff. This is like Hollywood, fantasy. What do you mean God, eternity? What do you mean? You know, who's this big guy, God, or anything? You see, you'll never know unless you look. Okay? But I'm going to tell you something. You need to look, even if you look with a doubtful mind, which it's okay to be skeptical. God doesn't mind that, because He wants the opportunity to prove Himself to you. You know, He doesn't expect us to believe in Him without seeing some kind of movement in our life. Okay? He doesn't. He wants to show you He is real. Okay? He is just looking for the opportunity. These are things that are covered on my other tapes, okay? You need to just listen to the tapes. Just listen to them. Just give them a chance to speak to you. You know, I've yet to receive a negative comment about the tapes. Okay? I've yet to receive it. So to me, that's a good thing. People are liking it. It's empowering them. It's lifting them up. I'm not condemning you, putting you down. God's your enemy. He is far from your enemy. But He speaks quietly, because it's another one of His teachings. If you want to be heard, try this, okay? Try this. This is just coming to me now. This is a gem. You go in a crowd, people are talking, and you sit there, and you get in the conversation, and you talk deliberately. Now you try this, okay? And I will guarantee you will see the analogy behind this parable. Okay? You go in amongst your friends and you talk in a very low voice. Okay? Don't talk like you normally would talk. Just talk in a very low voice. When somebody talks and asks you something, you just go, just talk and just talk low. Okay? Below the noise. Talk below the noise. Okay? And I guarantee you, if they want to hear you, they're going to have to shut up. If you want to hear God, sometimes you got to learn to shut up. Okay, now He just gave me that about how you can put that into play in a gathering. Try it. That just makes me laugh, because I can see how that will work. You think about it. If you're around a bunch of people, we're talking about it, and if somebody they want to hear what you got to say, instead of me talking like this, I go, well, I'll talk like this. I'll answer the question, but I'm going to answer it in a low voice, right? And they'll go, what? What'd you say? And you don't change. You just go, well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to talk like this. And they go, what? And they'll go to their brothers and go, shh, hold on a second, I wonder what he's got to say. What'd you say? And when they all quiet down, then just tell them what you were saying. You can raise your voice then. Then you can be loud because they're going to hear you. But see, if you try that, that's a great one. That really is a good one because that'll work. Try it. I'm going to try that myself. I'm going to try that myself. I'm going to put that into play so I can teach people out there. And once I do that, and it works, which I know it will, then I'll use that as an analogy in some of my future recordings. You see, I always love to try to use things that I have experienced, okay? That I've experienced. So that's what I do. When I tell you things, I know they work. I know they work because I use them. I have for a long time, used them, okay? And I get real excited and happy when I talk about the fact of how it works in my life, but I will remind you at this point, I'm just the same as you. You have the same opportunities that I have. You can enjoy your life just like me. And that's what this is. This is a growth in God so that you can, while you're here, you can enjoy yourself. Not all the things on the outside affect your mood, whether or not you're going to be happy or not, right? It's like, things don't make you happy. You got to be happy. You have to be happy to be happy. You have to be a happy person. You have to think happy thoughts. It's good to think good thoughts. Think things that are going to edify you, make you feel good. Don't be negative and angry and all that stuff. Excuse me. You see? So, I'm still excited about that. I'm going to use that tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to church tomorrow with them, where I usually go, and I'm going to use that tomorrow because y'all get their coffee after tomorrow. Of course, everybody wants to talk, eh? Everybody's very excited, and the point comes out and so I'm just going to sit back and I'm going to talk in that low voice, and I'm going to see that. And then I'm going to tell them how this came to be. Okay, I'm going to tell them that I was testing a parable that God gave me to share online. Okay. Anyways, okay, that's enough of that. I think you can get where I'm coming from. Try it. So he speaks in a small, quiet voice for that reason. Okay, because God will not compete with all the noise of the world. And the reason he won't is because he doesn't want you to. See, God sets examples for us, okay? God could make himself very noticeable anytime he chooses. Okay? I got somebody here next to me and they're revving up a car. Take away my country sound, but that's okay. That just makes it real. Okay, but anyway, God's trying to make himself real. Okay? God's trying to make himself real. That's all he's trying to do to you. And for you. Okay? So it goes back to the quiet place. You see, he can yell. He can make himself known if he wants to. He's doing it in different ways. He's nudging. He's tugging. He's allowing things to happen. Okay? He's allowing bad things to happen just to get our attention. You see? Because even all these disasters and everything, when you understand God controls everything, okay? He controls the wind, the rain, the clouds, and all, whatever. He controls everything. So, these disasters are going on. If everybody, and there are people, believe me, there are intercessor prayers going out. If it wasn't for them, it would be a lot worse probably. Okay? But overall, the population has to turn to God. He will take care. He will bring the lands of the United States and Canada and Britain, okay, Ephraim and Messiah. He will bring them back to where they were. That's what he wants to do. Okay, bring them back as a land of milk and honey. He wants to do that. These things that are happening, the only one that can fix these things is him. So if you're not going to call upon him, like for instance, tornado, get him to cease the tornado. Lord, please don't hit our town. And if people passionately turn to him and learn his word, learn his truth, learn his way, there's more to it than asking. Okay? Asking ye shall receive, but you got to be with him as well. You can't just ask God to stop a tornado and then turn around the next day and go back to your old ways of being far away from him. It doesn't work that way. But he will protect his people. He will protect his people. Okay? Because he needs us here in order to continue on to bring the truth to those that will be left behind. So anyways, he will not compete with the noise of the world puts in front of you. Okay? So when you understand that, And why should he? Why should he compete? He has the best deal for you. He doesn't have to sell himself. He doesn't have to sell himself to you. The only thing he did, he provided you with his writings, with his word, and it's all you need in order to make the proper decision. He always fight with you, okay? He doesn't have to tempt you. He doesn't have to put things in front of you to guide your flesh away, make your flesh happy, lust and greed, hurting other people, all about self, not about anybody else. Take care of self first before you care about your fellow man. That's the opposite of the way it should be. If everybody helped everybody else, and there would be nobody else on the planet going without. Boy, that fellow needs to go to Midas. Anyways, see what I'm saying there? But if everybody was to help somebody else, nobody would go without. You see, because as you're helping somebody's coming behind helping you, and someone's coming behind helping them, someone's coming behind helping them. But the thing is, if I take the stance that, well, I'm not going to help somebody until they help me, there's no motion. God can't steer a parked car. You understand? You got to be in motion for him to steer you. You got to be in motion for him to steer you. So, and that's what he wants to do. He wants to steer you. Okay? But he's not gonna put all these little things in front of you. Okay? His is free will. He freely gives it, freely receive it. That's what I'm doing. He freely gave to me, and I'm freely giving to you. Okay? I'm just passing it on. Okay? I'm just passing it on, hoping I can help somebody else. Right? But the choice comes down to whoever's listening to it. You have to make that choice. And you have to find out. There's probably not enough on this recording for you to find out. I know there's not. I can't possibly give you everything on this recording that is involved for him to say. But if you just keep listening to the recordings, then the more you listen to the recordings, you'll learn. But see, you need to be in his word so you can see these things for real. You cannot take my word for these things. Although I'm telling you the honest, God's truth, as he gives it to me, you must go in there and read his word, because you need to understand and believe this in your heart. Don't believe it just because I say it and it sounds so good. It sounds good because it is good. But that's not enough of a reason for you to believe it. You must go into his word, okay, with him with you, on faith, believing that he will show you his word, because that's what he wants to do. And then just be patient with yourself. If you're new to this, he'll bring you along from where you're at. You don't have to go and think, well, I got to know everything about God today, about all of his word and everything, all that stuff. I don't even understand a word, how to pronounce them. Don't put mountains in front of you that you don't need to climb. He will bring, I just had my grandson was born the other day. What a blessing. Anyway, my daughter, she's not feeding that child meat and potatoes right now. She's nursing that child along with milk. Okay? And as time goes on, and the child matures to the point where it can handle solid foods, then that's what she'll feed him. And it's the same as you. He can't feed you meat and potatoes right now. You wouldn't get it. First, he's got to teach you how to hear from him. First, he's got to teach you how, just those small things. So enough, and show you things to say, okay, well, I want a little bit more. That's intriguing. I want some more of that. He wants to show you his things. You don't have to do nothing except come to him. That's all you have to do. You just have to come to him. And he'll show you that he is real. Because that's exactly what he wants to do. Okay? So, you come along at your own pace. God knows where you are. He knows everything about you, remember? Knows everything. Knows all your secrets. You have no secrets from God. He knows every bad thing. He knows everything you've done that you think you're the only person on this planet that knows what you've done. Remember, when you look in the mirror, just picture that person in the mirror as God, because that person knows. God knows everything about you. No secrets from him. Okay? So you enter with him, okay? You invite him in, you be patient with yourself, allowing him to bring you along. He will bring people into your path, okay? Just be aware and open. But remember, everything you hear, You need to check it out, okay? You need to know why you believe what you believe. Don't believe it because somebody else tells you, folks. Don't believe it because I told you. He wants you to know it is true in your heart as I know it in mine. Give him the opportunity. He won't let you down. He is your best friend. And in order for you to believe these things, all you have to do is just check them out. Just check them out. Listen to some of the other tapes. There's some really good messages on there that'll help you bring you along. If you have any questions, email us. We'll do what we can for you. That's what we're here for, okay? You've got a topic you want talked about? Well, I'll put it down, record, and email it to you. And send it to you. Help you out whatever we can. Remember, we're only small, so it could take a while, but whatever we get, we'll work on. You'll never be forgotten. So remember, if you haven't gotten it yet, it'll be on its way. Okay? God bless you, and listen to some more.
Well, folks, that was an audio recording I had done around my campfire in June 28th of 2014, and this is August the 4th of 2025 at 11:11 in the evening. And I ask you to please like and share and subscribe. If you have any comments, I want all comments, whether it's negative or positive. If you have questions, please give them to me. And until next time, I hope you're under his wings. God bless.